This 23-year-old James Cooper, he was found dead hanging from a light pole less than 2 weeks after moving to Mississippi. The sheriff immediately ruled it a suicide, despite glaring evidence that it was a murder. Family and friends all say, no way. Even the coroner on the scene said she would not rule it a suicide. There were too many signs of foul play. Please help the family by sharing his case. Go to his website to learn more of the horrifying details and
Hey everyone, welcome to the mix. Like, share, subscribe per usual. Thank you guys for your continued support, those domestically and internationally. As you can see, today is Legal Tuesday, you guys. So I need for you guys to listen to this video. Yes, listen to it from beginning to end. I will do my best not to keep you all long. This is part 2 of the James Cooper situation that took place last year in May of 2023. He was found HUNG in Mississippi. But before I continue with my commentary, reaction, and opinion, I need for you guys to vow to listen to this video from beginning to end first and foremost. And if you guys are interested in donating to the mix, head on over to the description section of this post. Donation information is there. You can also zelle and cash app your girl. Cash app is here as well. If you're going to drop some comments in the chat, please keep it respectful and peaceful. Thank you very much. Okay, you guys. And you can head on over to the community section. I always have posts going on. So vote. Let me jump right into the topic. James Cooper, justice for James Cooper, and what's happened to Mr. James Cooper, the late James Cooper. Okay, you guys, I came across the quote-unquote article through X, formerly known as Twitter, by Crimes Uncovered. So I want to share this with you guys, this write-up. I found it to be quite interesting, quite telling, and hopefully it can answer some questions for everyone. Again, this is part 2, so what I will do is drop the link of the previous video I did in the description section of this post. So I'm just trying to complete a series or whatever on this topic, because I just want to do my part as well to bring awareness. I did some digging and couldn't find much, and it seems like the case is really going cold. So but yeah, let me go ahead and share this with you guys, and hopefully it can shed some light on some unanswered questions you may or may not have had, and for myself as well. So this is my first time reading the entire article, but here we go. This is X, formerly known as Twitter, Crimes Uncovered. We need your help to bring justice to the tragic case of 23-year-old James Cooper from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, just weeks after moving to Mississippi. He was found DADHANGING from a light pole. Okay, I'm going to be spelling certain words out because of the sensitivity involving certain words and terms per the algorithm, the internet algorithm. I don't know what's going on these days, or who's feeding the algorithm, or who's making decisions on what words or terms are acceptable. So yeah, and it's like that for YouTube as well. So I'm gonna click here. Okay, Crimes Uncovered, as you can see, it has quite a few articles here, but I'm going to click on James K. Cooper. You can come back here and read some articles at your leisure. I think this is a private-owned website, but I found it to be very interesting, and some of the articles, I believe, are very telling. So let me click on James Cooper, K. Cooper's article. Okay, this is published in November 2023. As you can see, mysterious disappearance and tragic DATH of James K. Cooper, unanswered questions and concerns. In the spring of 2023, James K. Cooper, a 23-year-old native of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, embarked on a new journey to Greenville, Mississippi, filled with hope. James had just secured an exciting job and was on the verge of moving into his very own apartment. Little did we know that his fresh start would take a dark turn, leaving behind a multitude of unsolved mysteries and lingering doubts. The importance of family. James was a young man deeply devoted to his family. The bonds he shared with his loved ones were at the core of his existence. This profound connection makes his sudden disappearance all the more perplexing. Troubled relationships. March, James was living in an apartment with a woman in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. James came home to their apartment to find this person with another man. Later on in April, this same woman called James, telling him she only had 2 months to live because of a medical condition with her heart. Witnesses verified that this was not true. Upon his arrival in Mississippi, James found himself in a complex living situation. He had shared an apartment with the same woman and another person. It was to James' understanding that they were to get an apartment together. James was very excited to be starting out his new life with a new job and a hopeful possibility of getting an apartment. Little to James' knowledge, the landlord stated he was told by the young woman that she no longer needed the apartment after all. This was done prior to James' body being found. Wow. Let me just pause right here and interject. It seems like James was dealing with a female who was selfish, probably like problematic internally, maybe jealous, envy, and bitter. Also, maybe dealing with her own mental issues, maybe her own issues from a mental perspective. And I'm just speculating based off of this write-up and then other write-ups I've read on this situation. It just seems like she was a nasty spirit. Put some words to it. It just seems like she wasn't good for him, and he should have followed the signs, took his good heart, his presence, and went elsewhere. So it just seems like she was a gaslighter as well, and it just seems like she was overall toxic, and he wasn't probably taught or learned how to deal with those type of people. Meaning, if they show you who they are, believe them and get the heck away. So, okay, the argument and the vanishing act. On May 8, 2023, a heated dispute erupted between James and this individual over something seemingly insignificant. Let me just pause right there. When arguments happen that doesn't make any sense, somebody's trying to do something. Somebody doesn't have the heart. Somebody's being a coward. Somebody doesn't have the wherewithal to know how to communicate effectively and responsibly. So let me go ahead and continue. Witnesses' accounts suggest that this agreement escalated to the point where the individual got into her vehicle, berating James as he stood outside the vehicle. It just seems like this was a back and forth toxic type of thing. Wow. From this point on, James vanished without a trace. This individual claimed he had packed his belongings and left precisely on the day when he was due to secure his identification for his eagerly awaited new job. The heart-wrenching discovery. James remained missing until May 10, 2023, when he was found in a nearby wooded area. Wow. Under circumstances that left numerous questions unanswered. Church members embarked on a mission to locate James, following the discovery of his duffel bag along a dirt road drive. Subsequently, they stumbled upon James's lifeless body near a lamppost. They called their pastor at 9 a.m. to tell them they found James. The pastor was helping James get a job, and James just got baptized. The pastor arrived at the scene along with other church members. Emergency call to 911 at 9:20 a.m. was placed. Wow. It seems like he was a good guy and was trying to do the right things in the structured type of situation. But, and this is me interjecting and giving my thoughts, but it just seems like the person that he was dealing with, seems like everything was one-sided, and it also seems like it wasn't mutual. It wasn't mutual. So I wonder why his family this has had to, not this particular incident, but other signs had to have happened prior to this. And when with my kids, if I'm seeing things, I'm like, get away. I'm warning them, get away. Don't do this, especially with your young adult kids. It's like, I've been living longer than you, so take my experiences, take my mishaps, my wrong paths, my indiscretions, and also take my good things. Use them as life lessons for yourself. Sometimes the best experiences are experiences of others. So, okay. The article further cites mysterious claims. Intriguingly, the girlfriend claimed that she phoned James' mother, Nadine, on Monday, May 8th. The girlfriend said that James had texted his mother, Nadine, saying he was in a nearby wooded area by water. Nadine, however, refuted this claim, asserting that she never received a text from her son or a call from anyone. The sudden revelation of James's location 2 days later raised suspicions. Questionable investigation and autopsy. Local law enforcement swiftly classified James's death as a suicide, despite the mounting uncertainties and concerns expressed by family and friends. An autopsy conducted 8 days after the discovery of his body was fraught with questions. No refrigeration and a very heavy body bag did nothing except speed up the decomposition of James's body, and the examination appeared routinely. The autopsy took about 1 hour, which is not long at all. Wow. Research indicates 2 to 3 hours is a standard time, although some may take longer. Furthermore, standard procedures appear to be conspicuously omitted. Wow, that's telling then. If something is omitted, that's an issue. That means they're not being fully transparent on anything. Puzzling scene and physical evidence. James was found with cords around his neck. He was found by a light pole with 2 of these cords of wire wraps around his neck. Each cord is measured at 1 wide. Those cords are the kind you see on a telephone pole. Cables, thick, very rigid. However, the circumstances surrounding this event raised considerable doubts. He was discovered in a seated position on the ground as opposed to hanging. Furthermore, there were striking physical indications on James's body, suggesting he had been in a different position before being placed near the lamppost. This evidence cast doubt on the idea that James had taken his own life. Wow. Mysterious zip tie. One of the most unsettling elements of this case was the presence of a zip tie clutched in James's hand, a detail inexplicably omitted. Wow. Whew. Oof. There is much more evidence of foul play and lack of investigation related to James's DATH. We will reveal this information at a later date. Seeking justice. As the questions surrounding James K. Cooper's tragic demise persist, his mother Nadine Cooper and family is left with a pressing need for answers and justice. Unfortunately, the family has had difficult time obtaining the information needed to shed light on the mysterious circumstances surrounding James's death. James's story remains marked by uncertainty and suspicion, and those who knew him well, his family, continue to seek the truth and justice for a young man whose promising future was tragically cut short. James' family and friends do not believe it was SUICIDE. We believe that a comprehensive, transparent, and impartial investigation is required to uncover the truth and deliver justice to James and his grieving family. For more on James' story, click page 2. Okay. James K. Cooper vanished. The unanswered mysteries in Metcalfe, Mississippi. James K. Cooper went missing on May 8th, 2023. His then thought of girlfriend never bothered to look for him. Off late afternoon to go hook up with other man. Her mother filed a missing persons report on Tuesday morning. James K. Cooper just moved down to Metcalfe, Mississippi to be by the children of his girlfriend. Wow. So this is shedding more light. He loved those kids as if they were his own. So this young fellow was 23 years old. This is me interjecting. And basically wanted to be like a father figure for the kids because of this type of love, one-sided, in my opinion, relationship he was in. Wow. Wow. That's the kind of man he was loving, caring, laughing, enjoying life. When the girlfriend said she was getting an apartment, James immediately thought he was going to be part of her and the kids' lives. He went and got himself a job. He was supposed to get his ID the day he went missing. He had a haircut appointment set up for Tuesday. He was so looking forward to working the job that was starting on Wednesday. So the girlfriend seems like, in my opinion, this is just my opinion based off of these write-ups, is that she was, like I said before, gaslighting and sending mixed messages. For what reason? I have no idea. Why would somebody lead someone on, send mixed messages? People, sheesh. You know what? Why am I even asking that? Because it happens. It definitely happens. People are just not who they say they are. And people have their own issues and project whatever it is internally off on someone else. And they use others as punching bags, so to speak, from an emotional perspective, mental perspective, and physical perspective. That's just my take on it. There's no way of explaining that, so other than how I just did. James had no one down there, no friends, no family, but he was willing to work hard at living down there with who he called his girlfriend and her kids. I wonder how many kids did she have? Little did James know that the alleged girlfriend canceled her request to hold the apartment for her. Keep it in mind, you guys, I'm interjecting. She called him to come down there because of a alleged heart condition. That's what was reported earlier too. So I just wanted to piggyback on that. And that's what was reported too in other articles. So he's thinking, oh, we're going to be this, we're going to work this out, work through this, be this happily ever after type of family, and I'm going to be there for her, the kids, etc. Okay. So the article further cites, there was never anything in writing. Keys were never given to either alleged girlfriend or James, and the landlord refunded the small sum of money to hold it back to the girlfriend's mother. Wow. This was done prior to James being found DAD. Uncertain whether the cancellation was done on the 8th when the girlfriend decided to leave town. She never bothered trying to locate him. James was found on Wednesday morning in a slightly wooded area by some water. He was HUNG with light pole cables wrapped around his neck. Wow. The 2 days prior were very hot days in the 90s when the mother of the alleged girlfriend found him. His body was in very good condition except for larvae found on his body. What is larvae? I have to Google that. Let me do it now. I'm over here on my other device. Larvae. What is larvae? Did they spell it right here? Because Google is bringing up another spelling version. LARVAE. I think it's an insect because it's bringing up so I think they spelled this wrong. Oh, caterpillars, grubs, maggots. Okay, got it. Nymphs, okay. So, okay, because it's a deceased body. So, okay. If James was out in the heat those 2 days, his body never showed it. He was not sunburned. He was not decomposing as such. And if treated properly, could have been brought home to be buried by his family. This is where troubling situation starts. Washington County Coroner Methel Johnson wasn't called to the scene until 25 minutes after the Washington County Sheriff's Department showed up at the scene. The EMTs were already on the site at 9:25 a.m. and left the scene promptly after leaving James's body in the custody of the Washington County Sheriff's Department. So the reason why the EMTs left, because when they're there and if a body is found DAD on arrival, you don't take it to the hospital. You turn it over to the medical examiner or the coroner's office. But looks like they turned it over to the sheriff. Maybe that's the proper order in that particular county. And then the sheriff turns it over to the medical examiner or the coroner's office. And this is just me interjecting and speculating in terms of the order, the chain of transferring the body. Okay, the article further cites James' body sat at the light pole waiting for the coroner to arrive. In the meantime, the sheriff's department removed James's bags that were reported not near his body. They took all of the belongings and stated the tablet was in the duffel bag, when in fact the tablet was laying next to James's legs on the ground. The detective also stated that the tablet was sent to the crime lab for reviewing any evidence in this tablet. D.S. Jones will give a warrant to access James' tablet. So yeah, they will have to get a warrant. However, when the state crime lab was contacted, they stated the following: we cannot provide the information you are seeking further. The information you are requesting for is for an investigation work by an agency that was not the MS Department of Public Safety nor any other MS Department of Public Safety sub-agencies. So who really has the tablet? Okay, interesting to note that the Washington County Sheriff's Department never questioned everyone else at the scene, just the mother of the girlfriend and the pastor. What happened to questioning the other two women who were with the girlfriend's mother and the son of the girlfriend, who she left behind for 2 days with her mother? Better yet, why did the girlfriend only take with her the young daughter who wasn't old enough to understand things in general and leave the 4-year-old boy behind while she disappeared after James went missing? Things to make you go, Unveiling the mystery behind James Cooper's tragic end. Detective Adams on the case had immediately labeled it a SUICIDE in front of the witnesses at the crime scene who found James's body. That same detective went to speak to the medical examiner on the date of the autopsy. He was quoted as follows: had an extensive conversation with the ME, meaning medical examiner. They would more than likely line up with his ruling, meaning him. The detective basically saying they will probably, the medical examiner will probably agree with me. Wow. Why didn't they ask the friend of the girl's mom, the mother and the pastor? Wow. On May 11, 2023, there was the article written up in the Delta Democrat Times, quoted Chief Deputy Billy Barber as saying, this case is still under investigation and we are investigating this as a SUICIDE, Barber said. We have reason to believe it is as such after talking with his mother and father who lives out of state. An incident that should have been a warning sign to James to stay away from this girl happened back on December 17, 2022. James had called his mother that evening stating that he wasn't feeling well. His sister picked him up to bring him to the hospital. His mother, father, and sisters were there waiting for him. James walked into the hospital fully awake and functional. James had told his whole family that he was in the back of his one-sided love. Oh, okay, they're calling it one-sided too. Love, or in better terms, she's just not that into your girlfriend's apartment. This fella should have been gone a long time ago. I am just so hurt by it. Oh, this was probably his first, love, if you get my drift. Oh my gosh. Apparently his one-sided love had put him out in the cold and she was with another guy. He's just, wow. James was feeling miserable, lonely, hurt, but most of all, cold, and he had a very bad headache. He had taken Tylenol to ease the pain, but it was still there, the headache and the former one-sided love. So he took more Tylenol, which made him feel sick, therefore the hospital visit. James had told his family that she was selfish and didn't care about anybody but herself and that he didn't want anything to do with her anymore. He stated she made him feel like he wasn't enough. The family never heard their son cry like that. His father, Benny Cooper, along with one family member, thought it was a SUICIDE attempt. Okay, let me pause right here. He had a father. Oh, wow. It seems like they were just good-hearted people, the whole family. But let me just go ahead and take it there. Parents, sometimes we can't be coddling our kids. We got to let them know what it is, especially if you are aware of how people shake and move out here in these streets. I don't care if you're from the city or suburbs, wherever you come from. People are people where they're placed everywhere. So it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. So different scenarios. I don't know how much his parents were exposed to people like this type of girl that their son was involved in and just head over heels in love with, who clearly she just didn't give a crap about him. and clearly she seemed like was battling her own whatever and was taking it out on him, in my opinion. So if you don't know how to expose your kids to these type of scenarios, then these are the results of them being possibly naive and walking into a situation that they don't even know how to handle, or that could lead it down a tragic path, if you get my point. So I don't know, parents, keep your head on a swivel out here, especially if you are exposed to different types of things. If you have kids, speak to them, try to teach them. Like I said, sometimes other people's experiences are better than the person experiencing it on their own. So that's that. Okay. For the sites again, he was alert, aware of his surroundings, and this is James in the hospital, able to function real good, and walked into the hospital without help. The hospital kept him there for purposes of evaluation. However, this was not a SUICIDE attempt. James had said it wasn't a SUICIDE attempt. If anything, it was called out for help attention, but it didn't go the way he wanted it to. That's weird. But it was labeled as SUICIDE because of the nature of how he did it. Apparently, the sheriff's department wanted anything to confirm their immediate conclusion that this was SUICIDE. So they used this incident as saying he tried to commit SUICIDE before. Yet, the sheriff's department never requested those hospital records to determine exactly what's happened. Even if they want to label the Tylenol issue an S attempt, does not mean a person is always going to be S. It just means he had a very weak moment and a cry for help. The sheriff's department then relayed the message to the medical examiner that he tried to commit S in an autopsy. Well, we will let you decide when you read the next portion. More to come. Okay, you guys. So for me, that did shed some light on some things. I can see how the sheriff and medical examiner both came to a consensus. Really, the sheriff, detective, because it seems like the detective concluded that, I don't know if he spoke to the parents, I'm assuming over the phone, because the parents were not in Mississippi. But with them hearing that, then, one thing led to another in terms of autopsy wise. However, doesn't excuse the sloppy investigation. This doesn't excuse the missing tablet. This doesn't excuse the unanswered questions. And just because, like the person stated, just because one had tried to possibly S before, doesn't mean that they're going to do it again. So, in my opinion, with all that being said, and I hope this has answered some questions for you all. With all this being said, I just feel that the daughter, the alleged girlfriend, should be questioned, taken in, of the alleged girlfriend's, ex-girlfriend's mom, her friends. It seems like the people that were looking for James Cooper on the scene heavily relied on the law enforcement, the detectives, and just trusting that they would do the right thing. But in my opinion, there's still some stones left unturned, and there's still some unanswered questions. So to me, it's some fishiness still going on. It's some fishiness that took place. It's some sketchiness overall. Although this article did go into more of details because James allegedly attempted to S, based off of the article and his write-up before in the past. To my understanding, I do not believe the girlfriend was questioned, or the ex-girlfriend, whatever you want to call her, was questioned. I'm going to do some more digging, you guys, and I'm going to do my best to keep you up to date. But my Legal Tuesday update for y'all for today, and like this video, share this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think? You can read the article at your leisure. What crimes uncovered, and there's other stories and articles, as you can see. But these are some what if he did commit S? His body should not have been touched. His body should not have been tampered with. That's something illegal as well. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I will continue to do some more digging, you guys, on this topic, and see what I can uncover. If you know anything, please drop it in the chat, the link. And then, we're here, we're as a community here on The Mix, and, just to share information and all of that. But I still have questions about the girlfriend, the quote unquote girlfriend, or the ex-girlfriend. So it's just, things seem a little bit sketchy. I'm not going to say a little bit, things seem hella sketchy with this entire situation. So, but yeah, parents, talk to your kids. I don't care. Talk to your kids about life, experience it, people, interactions, conversations, how people handle one another, the different scenarios and possibilities. Your young adult could be in situations like this, and it can lead to something tragic, which would be unfortunate for all parties involved. So like, share, subscribe to The Mix, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.